Welcome to Buzzed and Baffled, the podcast where the wine is flowing and the stories are strange.
Each week, we uncork a bottle, take a sip, and dive into some of the most jaw-dropping, unbelievable true tales you've never heard before.
From historical mysteries to bizarre real-life events, we'll have you wondering, is this for real?
So, grab your glass, sit back, and join us as we get buzzed and you get baffled.
Hey listeners, just a quick note before we dive in. Buzzed and Baffled is a podcast where we enjoy a glass of wine, share wild stories, and sometimes get a little, well, buzzed.
While we strive to share true and accurate tales, we're here for the entertainment as much as the facts. So take everything we say with a grain of salt and a splash of wine. Any opinions shared here are our own and do not reflect those of any other party.
Always drink responsibly and remember, the truth can be stranger than fiction.
Welcome back.
We are back. This is episode 16, part 1.
Yeah. So 16, it's a two-parter, so you'll get one this week and you'll get the second half next week.
Yep, and we're recording both episodes today because
next week we are going to be petting some red pandas with Leah and Ben.
Yeah, and we know all of our fans would be really upset if we missed a week, so we're going to do a doubleheader this week. We'll release them over the next 2 weeks, so you don't miss a thing. Don't worry.
We do not want our adoring fans to be sad.
Yeah, all 10 of you. Our tens of fans.
Hey, it counts.
A fan's a fan, hey? Let's talk about the wine first that we have this evening. Do you want to give a little background on why you chose this or didn't choose this?
Our story takes place in Florida, and nothing good comes out of Florida, so I am not going to look for a Florida-based wine.
Yeah.
I got this, and I tried it when I was a wine tasting at the Chicago Zoo, and it was delicious, so I picked some up when I was at Binny's there.
Yeah, I really like this label. Of course we'll post a picture, but it's 1920s. There's like flappers on the front, but it's like pink. It's not Art Deco. Well, we wouldn't have been in Art Deco till the 30s, but
it's a pretty bottle.
It's a
really
grabs
cool
your
bottle.
Attention. It sure does. If I was solely purchasing wine based on bottle label, which is pretty much how I buy wine, this would definitely be on the list. So here we go. This is called The Pale. It is a rosé by Sasha Lechine.
You can do it.
I should have practiced this. Vin de Paille du Var.
So authentic.
Indication géographique protégée.
Magnifique.
Suck it, Leah. And the description on here is, The Pale, produced by the people that brought you Whispering Angel, and named after its transparent pink color, embodies all the characteristics of an authentic rosé from the Provençal region of France. So
should we pour some? Give a little ASMR? Oh, bring your mic over so they can hear. Beautiful.
Pour myself some. Start doing that so they think they're really in here with us. Okay, let's give it a first taste. It's very good.
It's light. It's crisp. It's not too sweet, but it's not too dry.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as good as the Boda Box Dry Rosé.
Almost. I mean, nothing can beat
Boda Box Dry Rosé.
It's cheap. Well, I mean, fucking tariffs got it going on or whatever, but the price went up to like $25.
Yeah, the last time I went, it was $16. A couple of weeks ago, it was $25 to buy a Boda Box. I was like, holy hell.
And they claim there's 4 bottles in a Boda Box.
Not for us, there's not.
No, because 2 days in a row we drank 2 Boda Boxes. We're like, what?
We may have a problem.
Yeah, but anyways, the wine is very good. This is definitely something I would drink like regularly.
Well, the good news is I can ask Leah and Ben to pick up a whole case,
we
can just like leave it here in the pod room. Mm-hmm. And we always have a backup then if we need it.
Yeah, if our Boda Box becomes too expensive. But Boda Box could sponsor us.
If Boda Box sponsors us, then we could do a compare and contrast with Boda Box versus whatever.
Mm-hmm. And Boda Box will always win. Mm-hmm. So what do we got on tap here?
So on tap, we are, for the most part, going to be in Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
The armpit of America.
Yeah. The wiener of the United States.
Like, Florida has this guy and Ron DeSantis.
As someone who was recently in Florida...
She's practically a local.
3 short weeks ago. Boy, is it bad there.
Mm-hmm.
I did not enjoy a single second.
I have been to Orlando, which I was not a fan of.
And I was there for work, so it wasn't, like, for funsies. But even so, I was just like, this place sucks.
Almost 20 years ago, I went there, and I had a relative who had a condo, and we stayed in Clearwater. We're like, oh, we can stay for free, that's fine. And Clearwater was like, oh, this is a pretty cool little town. And then I learned that it is the Scientology capital of the world.
It is, yep.
I was like, that's why it was so weird.
That might be a little bit... Oh, remember when I said I wasn't going to have any stories about Florida?
Uh-huh.
I actually have one on my list that reminds me of.
Okay.
So you might be foreshadowing one of my future stories.
Ooh. Is that a good time for me to use the... We have a new horn button, guys.
Sure. It took us like 45 minutes to record that.
That is specifically for when I ask Kyla a question that she's just about to say something about. We start with the title. I call this one, The Weekend Killer Steps Ahead of the Badge.
The badge.
No puns for this one because it's a little too brutal to get too glib about it.
Oh, okay. Not a funny story. We're not going to laugh.
It's not. Kyla knew she was in for it when it took me like 20 minutes to set the board up.
Yeah, there's maps. We have photos. More than one timeline. I have like a lineup of victims' photos in my hand. I have a timeline that spans like 2 episodes, so we're really in for it here.
I came prepared with receipts. Our story is about a man named Bobby Joe Long. He was born on October 14th, 1953, in Canova, West Virginia.
October 14th is my wedding anniversary.
Well, just think. I wonder how much you and Bobby Joe have in common.
Oh, probably a lot.
Let's find out. Bobby Joe struggled in childhood. He was born with a genetic abnormality called Klinefelter syndrome. You know a lot of weird stuff.
I do, and...
Are you familiar with Klinefelter syndrome?
I've read about it. Sometimes I end up in click holes on Wikipedia.
Nerd alert.
Yeah, it's... I'll see, so... Embarrassing, but one of my hobbies, I guess it's a hobby, is reading obituaries. That's how I spend my Sunday mornings.
You were a mortician, though, so, a hazard of the job?
Yeah, and I just like learning about people's lives, and sometimes in them, they'll say, so-and-so passed of this syndrome, or they had this rare disease called this.
And then you have to know what it is.
Well, yeah, I'll look it up, and then that kind of leads into... a chain of Wikipedia articles. And I know I've read about Klinefelter syndrome, but I can't remember the specifics.
What I'm learning here is one of us is a better person than the other because you like learning about people's lives. I'm fascinated by how they died.
Oh, no, I like that too. Like, that's the reason that I read, is because I'm trying to figure out how they died. And I've gotten pretty good at reading between the lines. Not that I never, helped someone write a slightly obscure or vague obituary.
I love a vague obituary because something happened there. Mm-hmm. Klinefelter syndrome, though, is when he has an extra X chromosome.
Okay, so he is XXY.
Yes. This condition resulted in Bobby Joe having extra estrogen in his body, which unfortunately results in the development of female traits such as breasts. This meant that he needed to have breast reduction surgery as a teenager.
Oh, that's so rough.
Like, it's rough at any timeline, but the 60s was kind of like a hyper-masculine...
Oh, yeah. What year was he born? 53?
53.
So
this is a hyper-masculine...
early 60s.
We're like Mad Men era.
Yeah, coming just out of the 50s where it's, mom stays at home, dad is super hyper-masculine, takes care of everything. That's a really rough thing for a kid, any kid to go through, but that time period makes it extra. Because, people didn't understand.
They don't know, like, the doctors understand, but the general population wasn't educated. They didn't have the internet at their
No, they're
fingertips.
like, look at that freak with boobs.
Yeah. And as you would expect, he was bullied by his peers a lot.
Of course he was, yeah. And that's sad. That's a really, it's not like you get a bad haircut and you can change it. Like, you cannot help that.
And speaking of his mother, he struggled at home because he had an unhealthy relationship with his mother. He would sleep in her bed until he was a teenager. And his mother would often bring men home from her late-night job, and due to the codependent relationship, he was often resentful of this because he had to go sleep, I'm assuming, in his own bed.
So we have 2 check minuses already for Bobby. We have a difficult childhood and a complicated relationship
with his mother.
Mom.
With mother.
Mm-hmm.
Long did not graduate high school. He dropped out in 1971 when he was in the 10th grade. That wasn't just to, piss around, though. He enlisted in the Army in 1972, and he attends training. He had a girlfriend while he was in high school, and so while he's in the military, they get married in 1974.
Okay.
So up on the board, we see Bobby Joe, and right below that, we see the picture of him and his wife on their wedding day.
Oh, yeah, that's just looks like exactly like a 70s couple where the dude is in the Army. He's got his uniform on. She's got 70s.
They very obviously got married at, the local VA or,
it's
in the living room or something.
Yeah, you could tell this is like...
a home wedding in Virginia.
Maybe they did get married at a church, but this photo is this is clearly like a small probably
family.
I'm not going to say shotgun wedding, but very small, and I don't want to say they didn't put a lot of planning into it, but it's not grand.
Yeah, it wasn't a $20,000 wedding. This is a potluck, all the church ladies made something.
This is your friends bring a salad, and everyone has a good time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do not think his wife had a good time for very long.
Mm.
In the spring of 1974, while still enlisted, Long is in a motorcycle accident that results in brain trauma after the impact shatters his helmet.
Oh, so that's another check minus for Bobby. We have brain trauma now. Mm-hmm.
He is discharged from the Army in August of 1974, and he's given 40% disability as a result of this motorcycle accident.
I don't know how they rate disability. I know they have scales. And
there's it's a whole point system.
Yeah, it's almost like an actuary kind of an insurance thing. But it seems like if you have a TBI, you should have higher than 40% disability.
I would willing to bet if he had had the TBI while in active duty, he probably would have. But it was just while enlisted.
Right.
It wasn't like he was running through enemy lines.
Yeah, he was
motorcycle.
Riding his motorcycle
on base.
Yeah, to the grocery store or something.
Long and his wife, they did have 2 children. However, it was not meant to be because they divorced in 1980 due to the wife enduring domestic violence and sexual abuse from Bobby Joe.
Okay.
So while we feel bad for Bobby Joe in the beginning, you're going to lose that sentiment very quickly here.
Bobby, I felt bad for you when you were trying to be a good dude.
When you were hey, I had my boobs removed, but now I'm getting married, I'm trying to be a productive citizen.
I dropped out of high school, but I joined the Army. Mm-hmm. But now, Bobby, you're losing points.
Mm-hmm. After the divorce, Long moved from West Virginia to Tampa, Florida, and this is in 1980. So you have this timeline.
I have a very fancy timeline.
I really stepped up my graphics game this time. So we see in 1980, he moves to Tampa, and it says... For a period of time, he moves back and forth between Tampa and West Virginia due to employment instability.
Okay.
So he has 40% disability, but he's still trying to work.
Yeah, you can't live off of 40% disability. No. That's just a small amount of what you would need. It's basically a subsidy.
So it's during this, or right after this move to Florida, that Long began his crime spree, in which he was raping and murdering 10 women, many of whom were sex workers.
Bobby Joe.
But the good news is that Long had many legal troubles before he was caught as a serial killer and raper. A serial killer and rapist. A serial killer and a raper.
I mean, technically, you could say he's a raper. Serial killist is a serial killist and a raper.
But what I'm saying here is there were signs.
Yeah.
Are you putting that on the list?
It's going on the list. You can keep going. Don't worry. This won't interfere.
So he's going back and forth between West Virginia and Tampa. And in 1981, his legal troubles start. Because we see right there on the map. 1981, legal troubles start. He starts to become in arrears for child support. On October 19th, 1981, Long's ex-wife remarries.
So that's quick.
It's like a year.
Yeah. So and this is purely conjecture, but I'm wondering, like, maybe she knew for obviously a long time this wasn't going to work out, and she already...
I'm guessing there was an escape plan.
Yeah.
So, right after, or shortly after this happens, Long's female roommate alleges that he raped her. However, no charges were filed. Right after that, he is charged with sending nude photos to a doctor's 12-year-old daughter. He pleads no contest and is sentenced to time served, 6 months probation, and a $65.50 fine.
I want to talk about this sending nudes just for a quick second. We'll do a quick aside here. This was when? 1980 what?
1981.
Okay, so there's no Snapchat.
For all the youngins out there.
There's no Instagram.
We want to put this in context.
He has to take a physical photo.
Either a Polaroid or like a regular camera.
He's got like a Kodak that he winds the film.
So it's either a Polaroid where he's like shaking it and then it develops, or he's taking enough nudes on a camera that he brings the whole roll into a center to have it developed, and he picks it up from the guy behind the counter who can see the photos he's developing.
Like, and you know that 17-year-old does not get paid enough to give a shit about this guy's nude photos. But then he has to take this nude photo, put it in an envelope,
and mail it to the doctor's daughter.
In the post office system.
It was not like, oh, I'm at home drunk, snap, snap, send.
Yeah, this is a premeditated.
This is more steps than my skincare routine.
I don't know about that.
In 1982, he's convicted of assault in West Virginia. So this gives him inspiration. He moves back to Florida in 1983. However, he's fired from the hospital where he works as an x-ray tech because administrators believe he'd been ordering female patients to undress for him. You don't need to undress for an x-ray.
Nope. At most, they might be like, hey, we're doing an abdominal x-ray and you have like a button on your jeans. Could you please put this gown on in the privacy behind this curtain and let me know when you're ready? You're never should be like naked on the table.
This doesn't stop him from continuing to work as an x-ray tech, however, so he's fired for doing this in one facility. He just moves facilities and continues to work as an x-ray tech.
Well, boys will be boys, right?
They're going to do what they're going to do. Yeah. You got to give them allowances. So up to this point, aside from the problem with his child support, he doesn't really have any legal consequences. But things really start to ramp up at this point, and things start to snowball a little bit.
Okay.
On March 6th, 1984, a woman puts an ad in the paper that she's selling her home. Mm-hmm. He goes there and he rapes her.
Oh, so he like goes to the open house.
And it's like, I think it's like, call, make an appointment, and I'll show you the house.
Yeah, this is like pre-realtor days where it's just like, oh, do you want to buy this from me?
Yeah.
The paperwork's easy. Come take a look.
Mm-hmm. So Long is suspected, but like nothing's really happening at this point.
Okay.
So that's March 6th, 1984. On April 5th, 1984, Long assaults a woman and he carjacks her after convincing her to give him a ride. In order to get away from him, the woman wrecks the car she is driving after he pulls a gun on her because she's trying to escape.
I mean, it's a good move.
I mean, that's maybe what I would do.
Yeah, because if you're thinking that you're gonna die anyways,
I'm taking you with me.
Yeah, and I'd rather take the chance of a crash than...
That is really a note to anyone who's ever thinking about carjacking me. I am crazy, and I will just kill us both.
Yeah. Also, we haven't brought this up before, but Nicole and I both have concealed carry permits.
That is true, so perhaps really think about it before you try to carjack me. So all this is like things are starting to brew, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you look on the map, what does it say? On April 1984.
We have loss of relationship.
Predicating factor. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So he is working at this hospital. He's fired because he's being inappropriate with the patients. At this point, the nurse he's dating there breaks up with him.
Which, like, yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah, not like that lady from my Steven Stainer story who was just like, yeah, like, let's go kidnap kids.
Yeah. She's like, no, this doesn't seem legit. But this is where, up to this point, everything's fine. Things are just kind of plugging along. Little iffy. But this is where things really start to go off the rails.
Okay.
Because everything Nicole talks about is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
The first, I'm going to call it the big victim, is...
I think it's Wen. It's Nguen.
She's Filipino.
So she's Philip. Okay, so because I know that's a pretty popular name in like Vietnam, so I'm wondering if it's the same.
It could be.
Yeah, I've seen it with a Y in there, but I know it's pronounced like Wen.
But she went by Peggy. So Peggy.
We'll call her Peggy.
So Peggy is this lady right here, and if people go to buzzedandbaffled.net. As you're watching this, or listening to it, I guess, I'll have all these people posted with identifying information so you know who we're talking about.
So, her last name is also Long.
Yes, but they're not related.
Okay. I was like,
no, they're not.
Was there a marriage I missed
here?
That
is 100% coincidental. Okay. She's from Southern California, and she worked as a dancer at the Starlight Lounge and the Sly Fox Lounge.
Okay.
So I could not find a picture of the Star Fox Lounge, but if you look on the board, that is the Sly Fox Lounge in all of its glory.
Yeah. It's very 70s. It has that fake... We'll, of course, post this so you can see it, but it has
like
that
the fake brick?
The fake rock on the outside.
Uh-huh.
And there's a huge billboard for Hennessy right in the background.
This reminds me of Hurley, Wisconsin.
Oh, 100%. Is this like a row of strip clubs?
Yes, there is a whole row. If you look at the map, you don't have the map yet, but I'm going to show you the map in a second. And up and down this strip, it's all clubs, bars, and strip clubs.
Okay, so it's like the district for this.
Yes. So she's working as an exotic dancer, but she wants to attend the University of South Florida. Okay. Long frequents these strip clubs, and he's been to the Starlight Lounge several times. So Peggy eventually quits her job dancing at the Sly Fox Lounge. And in May of 1984, she's seen eating dinner by herself at a place called Cece's Restaurant. And Long is also seen eating there that night.
Oh, no.
Okay, it's going. Okay. Sorry, I had to pause because... There's a bad doggy in the hallway.
Yeah, everyone can guess, but it's Lana.
We all know it's Lana.
Everyone knows it's Lana.
She's last seen at her apartment complex. So she's seen eating dinner at Cece's Restaurant. She's seen at her apartment complex. This is, what is the date I have in the thing?
We have May 4th,
yeah. 1984. So she disappears May 4th, 1984. She's found on May 13th.
Mm.
It is reported by Long after he's caught that he broke her legs at the hip to make disposal of her body easier.
Oh, yuck. Oh, yucky.
From a physiological standpoint, what has to happen for that to occur?
That's a lot. I mean, so if you think about it, your quads and your thigh muscles are some of the strongest muscles in your body.
And your femur is the strongest bone in your body.
Yes, it is. And to break that, basically you're snapping it from the hip joint, because I'm guessing he broke it. Maybe he dislocated it and didn't know the difference. But regardless, there's so much
muscle and
muscle
tendon
there. That's such a hard thing to do. That's some serious effort being put into that.
And one also to consider, she was a dancer.
Oh yeah, so she's like super toned.
And like she can hold herself up vertically on a pole.
Yeah.
She got strong legs.
Yeah, there's a lot of tissue there that he would have had to deal with. And that's why it's like extra icky. Ugh, yuck.
So this occurs right after his girlfriend breaks up with him. So we're starting to see a pattern of predicating stressor, murder.
Okay, so we have like problem, murder.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that we're going to have another problem and then another murder.
So the second victim is Michelle Sims. So if we look on here.
She's the third one.
She's the third one.
Oh, that's like her high school photo.
It's a very Farrah Fawcett blowout.
Yeah, that looks like everyone like in my parents' yearbooks.
This picture does not look like the picture on the website because the picture on the website was from a little later in life. Okay. And she looked a little more harried. But here she's fresh and young.
Yeah, this is, and I'll do a shout out to my mom because this is, the murder happened in 1984. I'm guessing her pictures probably, I'm just going to say her pictures from then. But this is very 80s, early 80s. And I'm just saying that because you have May 26th on here, 1984. And my mom graduated on, I think, May 27th, 1984.
Your family has a lot of connections to Bobby Joe Long.
Because my mom and I graduated exactly 20 years apart, like to the day.
Maybe I shouldn't be eating food you make, man. Like, I was really hesitant after the mushrooms last week. I woke up the next morning and did like a body check to see if you would poison me.
Just wait till she guests on the pod. We're going to do a big mic drop for you.
Okay. So Michelle Sims, she was 22 at the time, had a history of prostitution, but at the time she was currently working as a receptionist at a massage parlor in Fort Pierce, which is approximately 3 hours from Tampa.
Oh, that's a wide radius.
It is believed that she was visiting Tampa on May 26th, 1984. So May 13th, the body's found. She's in Tampa on May 26th.
So his, I'm going to call it a refractory period, is extremely short.
She was discovered strangled with a slashed throat on May 27th, 1984, on an overpass on Interstate 4.
Oh, no.
Long reported that Sims had fought him during the assault, and when strangling her, he did not kill her and had to repeatedly stab her in order to kill her.
Oh, Jesus.
Between the second and third victim, Long answered an ad by a woman named Linda Nuttall and her husband who were selling furniture. He assaulted Linda at her house with her children present.
That is so bold.
So she survives this attack. So I want us to remember, he raped a roommate, no charges were filed. He sent pedophilic photos to somebody, got charged. He carjacked a woman. Nothing's really happened to him yet. He was fired from a hospital for being inappropriate with clients. They don't know he's murdered 2 women, but now he went to a woman's house and raped her in front of her children.
Yeah, and she lived.
Yes, she lived. So by June 1st, 1984, the police in Tampa, in all their brilliance, have finally identified some similarities of the murders between Long and Sims. They said, hey, there might be a killer operating in Tampa.
Okay, yeah, and I don't know what the size of Tampa was. I mean, I know it's a fairly large city, at least now it is. But, and those are close together. And we know a lot of serial killers have much longer refractory periods where they wait sometimes years between kills, and he's really like back to back.
I'm imagining his brain trauma plays a part in this.
He's very impulsive.
So, June 1st, sexual assault. Now we hit our third victim. This is Elizabeth Loudenbeck, and that is the woman with the glasses.
Okay.
She was 22, and she was noted to be a quiet woman who lived with her stepfather in a mobile home park just east of the Nebraska Strip. And so I believe, let me look at this map to make sure that I'm right on this, because I wrote this a while ago. So this map is the Nebraska Strip.
Okay. All right, so this is the road or the district area.
Yep, so this strip right here is kind of where all the strip clubs are.
The bars.
The club,
yep, okay.
And this is also on buzzedandbaffled.net.
Yeah, and I can see on here, and I'm not going to get too far ahead, but
there's a lot of numbers on there.
There's a lot of numbers on there all in a row.
Yes. Unlike the other victims, she was not a sex worker. She worked in an electronics company and was reported to be a bit of a loner.
Okay.
She would often hang out at a place called Grandpa's Pool Parlor, which was a few doors down from Cheeks Lounge, where Long was reported to have been seen frequently. She disappeared on June 8th, 1984. So 7 days after he raped Linda Nettle in her home.
So his timeline is shortening and shortening in between.
Yeah. So she disappeared on the 8th, but she wasn't found until June 24th.
Okay.
In an orange grove.
Oh, gosh.
And as I was doing the research for this, I questioned, was he holding them this entire time? Or did it take almost 20 days to find the body?
Yeah, and that's a good point because, so it's June in Tampa in an orange grove. I have to believe
there's workers in that
there's
field.
Workers in that orange grove.
So where is he holding her at this time?
Yeah.
That's my mind is, it's not like he's just like driving around with her and he dumps her, because workers in an orange grove would find her. People on a freeway, if you kidnap someone at night and you dump them in the morning on the freeway, people will find them.
Yep. Yeah, he's putting them in places where
easy access.
Yeah, it's not the middle of the forest where it's going to take some random hiker. These are like popular places where people go like often.
It's at this point that the police had not really made the connection that these first 3 murders were connected, because the first one was a sex worker, the second one was a sex worker, but Elizabeth's not a sex worker.
Okay. And of course, I mean, in the 80s, we had limited forensic technology.
There wasn't computer systems that they could compare whether or not crimes were similar.
And like behavioral analysis was very in its infancy.
Well, it's like is it Mind Trackers on
Mindhunter.
Mindhunters, which I think they're doing a 2nd or 3rd season for, and I'm super excited for.
I've been waiting for so long. That's such a great show. But it's like just starting to exist. We're not in the Criminal Minds series yet where they can just hop on a jet and come
because this is the time in which like they're starting to interview Geen and all those people to find out kind of like what is causing this to occur. After his capture, Long reported that he had initially let Elizabeth go, but he ended up killing her because she would not stop crying. Long stole her ATM card and withdrew money from several banks after her murder.
What a dick. She looks like such a nice girl.
She's just
I mean, all these are like...
But I mean, she just looks like kind of maybe a lonely girl who didn't have a lot of friends and hung out at a pool hall because she needed somebody.
Yeah, she just looks like someone who you just kind of want to hang, like, just like, hey, come over and sit with us.
Yeah. So after everything he's done, we're at June 17th. If we look at the timeline, it's not on the timeline, but so on June 17th, Long is finally placed on 3 years probation for the carjacking and assault.
Oh, okay, so it's been this window where he's just been doing whatever the hell
So,
he
like,
wants.
he is currently in a court process. Like, he has court hearings happening as he's doing this.
So, hold up here. He carjacks somebody, assaults them, and only gets probation.
He's also released for jail and allowed to go and murder these 3 women.
Yeah. What? Oh, yikes.
So you do a violent crime, you're released, you murder 3 women we don't know about yet, and you only get probation.
Yeah, someone's gonna be, well, like us, are gonna be going through this and being like, hey, what the fuck?
There's a reason why the cover for this photo, or for this pod, is what it is. Wait till you see what I chose to make us, guys. It's amazing. Poor Kyla puts up with so much. So now he's on probation after July 17th, 1984. Do you think that stops him? Or is
Absolutely not.
So then we're moving on to the 4th victim, Vicki Elliott, who is 21. She's a waitress who worked an overnight shift at the Ramada Inn coffee shop, which is a block from the Starlight Lounge, where the first
Where
victim
Wen was a dancer.
worked,
Okay.
yeah. Not lived, worked. So she would walk a mile to and from work along the train tracks. So she was like a hard worker and willing to do what it took. Friends reported that she would carry scissors in her back pocket because she had been harassed by men driving past in their cars.
Men, you gotta do better.
Like stop catcalling and harassing women. She was reported missing on September 21st, 1984 by her employer when she didn't show up for her shift. She was found on November 16th, 1984.
Where? Do you know where?
It's not that he held her for that long. They didn't know she was missing. Long directed the police to her body after his arrest.
Oh, okay. So this wasn't even like they weren't even investigating a missing person.
It's like, oh, this waitress went missing. Whatever.
Well, yeah, because
do better, Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, sex workers and waitresses, they're not human, so we don't care.
So I put this information in specifically for you, and it's a little graphic, so everyone kind of be aware. If you don't like gross stuff, maybe don't listen. But Long's sadism was present when police found that Long had broken her hyoid bone, which is in her neck, right?
Yep.
And inserted scissors into her vagina. So he sodomized her with her own scissors.
Oh, I hate that so much.
When police went to her house, she had been planning to return to Michigan, where she was going to study as a paramedic, and they found an airline ticket laying on her bed.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So it was coming up quick.
If she had made it another week she would have been out.
And for our listeners who don't know, your hyoid bone is it's a free floating bone in your neck. It's not connected to any other bones. Mm-hmm. And one of the things, so it helps with swallowing, that kind of a thing. It keeps all your muscles in place, but it's not, like your leg bones are connected. Yeah. It's just there, but
is that my leg bones connected?
It is, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how it goes. But if a hyoid bone is fractured, that's often an indication of strangling.
Mm-hmm. So they didn't even know she was missing at this point, because as far as they know, they have 3 victims, and they don't even know they're connected. They only think the first 2 might be connected.
Because they're both sex workers, exotic dancer world, kind of that less than human. And that's certainly not me saying that. That is the perception of people at the time. I can't remember if I read it or saw it. There was and I don't even remember what it was, but there was an investigation, and every time they found, and it was a serial killer, they found the remains of a sex worker, they would mark them as NHR, which stands for non-human remains, because they were not even regarded as human. That's the shittiest thing I've heard in a long time. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's terrible. And I hope every police officer who wrote that was reprimanded. Yeah, and I mean, police, you got to do better. And let's be real, sex work is work. It is the oldest profession for a reason. Yeah, I mean, it is work. These people are out there working. Mm-hmm. They have much more risk than most of us have in our day-to-day jobs. Certainly do. And, they're trying to get by. Mm-hmm. Just like the rest of us.
They're just trying to pay their bills and eat.
Yep.
So now we're moving on to our 5th victim. So the police haven't quite caught on yet.
They're a little bit behind the game.
Well, I got to give you the second part.
Part 2 of my...
But don't read the butt. Only read the top. Like, don't.
Okay,
don't
I'll only
read
do it
ahead.
like this.
Yep. So now we have Chanel Williams, which one is she on here? So Chanel Williams is this one right here.
Okay. Interesting, and I'm only saying interesting because she's an African-American woman.
Yep. So she is, of all of the victims, there were only 2 ethnic women murdered.
Yeah, and that's a little bit unusual. Usually there's, you find the same race or sex, or there's usually something. But
for the most, but
having this many victims, it's...
I do think, though, he was more of a who do I have contact with an opportunity. So Chanel was 18, and she was from Winter Haven, Florida. She also had a record of prostitution. She also disappeared from Nebraska Avenue, where she was working as a sex worker. She was found... doesn't make sense.
Well, I'm going to back up for a second to one step back on this timeline where we have September 27th, 1984. And you have on here, he again loses a job.
Oh, you have to, yeah, so another precipitating factor.
Yep, so again, something happens to him, and then we have another murder.
So September 27th, he loses his job. She goes missing on September 30th.
Yep, 3 whole days later.
She is found on October 7th, just south of Pasco County, Florida, which is about 30 minutes north of Tampa.
So that's a little bit outside of...
So he's got a pretty big window in which he travels.
Yeah, so it seems like where he finds the women is all on this general area, but where the women are found varies widely.
So Nebraska Avenue is his hunting ground, and that's, if you look at that map, all those dots are where those victims were picked up. Like, there's a couple outside of Nebraska Avenue, but for the most part, it's right up and down
they're
the
not
strip.
far outside.
No. Long later reported that Chanel's death was different from the others due to her pluck and athleticism. Police found forensic evidence, including semen samples and red carpet samples, at this crime scene. And as you had noted, because I should do this...
That might be the... Okay, I'm sorry. That might be the only time you ever get to do that to me.
Long had just lost his job at another hospital, Tampa General, which he transferred to on September 27th, 1984.
Yep.
I feel vindicated, though, because I got to use the horn.
And, I mean, that's fair. I really thought, like, I just wanted to make sure that we addressed that, because you jumped ahead of the timeline.
Yep. But,
sorry.
No, this is where I really had to kind of straighten my writing out, because I was like that picture from the first episode where I'm like at the board at my desk trying to write this.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of moving parts in this story, and I just wanted to make sure you didn't miss it, and I can't believe I doubted you, so yes, I deserved that horn.
So, we're at October 7th, 1984. They found Miss Chanel. The 6th victim is Karen Dinsfriend, who is 28, and she is... this woman right here.
Okay. She has maybe a little bit of a... I can't tell if that's a mullet or a rat tail, but it's very 80s.
It's a rat tail. She was from St. Petersburg, Florida, and she was also a sex worker. Isn't St. Petersburg where your office is?
No, our office is in Jacksonville.
Okay. And that is on the other side of the state, because when you were in Florida, I looked for a capybara cafe, and there was one in St. Petersburg, but it was very far away from you.
Yeah, Jacksonville is up in the northeast corner. It's like near the Georgia border. It's up in the corner.
So they found Chanel on October 7th. Karen was last seen on October 14th at 3 a.m. on Nebraska while working. She was found strangled 7 hours later in a nearby orange grove.
So this is a quick, I don't want to call it a turnaround, but seems to be the shortest window between the crime and finding. And I'm sorry for anyone who can hear Lana whining.
We're not pausing because the last time I almost couldn't get it started again, and I am not willing to mess with that.
I'm just gonna, in between episodes, I'm gonna beat the hell out of her. That's not true. Don't call OCAP or
we might lock her outside, though.
Yeah, I'll take care of her. She really has FOMO, and she really wants to be in here, but the problem is she paces all over the place.
She'll step on me, and she can't just be chill.
Yeah, she can't just lay the fuck down. So October 14th is my wedding anniversary. Did we have something else on October? We did earlier, because I think I already said that.
Yeah. Maybe the year before on October 14th?
We had something. There was something, because I said it earlier. That's okay.
Yeah. So the police also found forensic evidence, including semen samples and red carpet. And if we go back to Jordan Wath, this is where they're starting to have this kind of technology.
They're seeing, the same thing between two murders.
So...
You were doing really good.
I've been caught myself so many times. On October 16th, 1984, the Hillsborough police make a press release expressing concern that there's a possible pattern of 3 or 4 recent murders. We're up to 6, so they're not quite up to par. But they connected Peggy, Michelle, and Karen.
Okay.
Chanel was identified as a possible connected case, but they were missing 2.
Yes. And maybe I wasn't listening. What did Karen do? Did you say?
Karen was a sex worker.
Okay.
He picked her up when she was working on Nebraska Avenue.
Okay.
So the police make this release. Basically, hey, we think someone is murdering sex workers. Be aware. And now we get to our 7th victim, Kimberly Hops, who is the lady in the glasses.
Yep.
She was 22. She was a sex worker in Tampa who was last seen on Nebraska Avenue. She disappeared one day, they don't know when, but she was found on October 31st on US 301 just north of Tampa.
She looks like the coolest woman who has ever lived. She is like the queen of the badasses.
Yeah, I was like, I would not mind spending an afternoon just day drinking with her.
Yeah, she does not give a fuck.
But she was found mummified by a 71-year-old man cleaning a ditch.
Okay.
As the exact date of abduction was not known, it is not known how long she had been there.
Okay. I'm going to jump in here and give you my thoughts for a second. So she's found on Halloween, October 31st, 1984. Mummified. Knowing how fucking hot and humid Florida is, I'm going to say that she was well before the most recent 2 victims. So I think we're in October. It's getting a little less humid, but it's still Florida and it's hot.
It's hard to get mummified in a humid environment.
It sure is.
Think about that actor who died and his wife died in front of the heater.
Yeah. It's really difficult to have mummification in a humid environment. And maybe Tampa isn't that humid in October, but still you're outside. There's so many weather variables that outside mummification is really rare.
If this story was happening in Phoenix, Arizona, you'd be like, no problem.
Oh, yeah, I'd be like 4 days earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm guessing she is not the next one in order of murders. She's the next one in order of being found, but she's going to be stuck in earlier in this chain of murders.
So now we move on to the 8th victim, Virginia Johnson, who is this lady right here, the salty looking blonde.
Yeah, she kind of looks like Julia Stiles.
Little bit.
Yeah.
Like a really mean Julia Stiles. She was 18 and she was from Connecticut. She also disappeared from the Nebraska Strip at the end of October. The date is kind of unknown because she didn't have people keeping track of her. Virginia had a history of drug and alcohol abuse. She was also last seen at the Sly Fox Lounge and at the Cracker Lounge.
Can we talk about the Cracker Lounge for a second?
It's a lounge for us, Kyla.
I know it is.
It's like for like really dumb white people.
Yeah.
She was not reported missing until 2 days after Long's arrest.
Yeah.
Which is very sad to me.
So, again, I'm just completely guessing at this woman's life, but being from the Northeast, I'm thinking she probably had some type of falling out with her parents.
She did not have the community connection, so that makes me really sad that she'd been missing for that long. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until they're like, oh, he's been killing dancers and prostitutes. Yeah. Maybe we should report her missing.
If she had substance abuse issues. Yeah, even her photo just looks sad.
And I did find a color photo that I'm going to try to update on the website because it's a much better, and it is sad. But the police connected her case due to an unidentified body that was discovered on November 6th, 1984, approximately 36 minutes from Tampa. A rancher had came across her skeletal remains while out riding horses.
Okay, and okay.
She was found with a ligature around her neck, and her cause of death was determined to be strangulation.
Yeah, okay, so again, being skeletal, I'm going to guess that this is an earlier... Mm-hmm. This is like an in-betweener.
Yep. And so, we have 8 victims at this time of just murders. And up until this point... He has only been fined $65.50
for his photo sending.
For his photos, and he's been given probation for 3 years due to a carjacking.
Yep, and he just keeps bouncing from hospital to hospital, being an X-ray tech.
And every time something bad happens in his life that he can't handle, he responds by kidnapping, raping, and murdering somebody.
Yeah, I would say those are not good coping skills. I mean, I'm not a licensed therapist.
But I would say if someone came into my office and said that this was their coping skill, I'd be like, okay, we need to restructure this because this is not healthy.
Yeah.
So this is where we end the first part of this series.
Yeah, so this is episode 16, and we're saying part 1 and part 2, but let's be real, it's 16 and 17.
Yeah, it's going to be labeled 16 and 17, but we're not done.
I can see there's more people, and this timeline is longer.
She's like, she has enough for an entire 50 more minutes. Mm-hmm. So, I am just astounded at how terrible the Tampa police were at this.
Yeah, and even, we talked about the birth of kind of forensics, so we know they don't really have that, and we know they don't have, behavioral analysis where they can connect these kind of puzzle pieces, but even just basic police work.
Like, hey, it seems like a lot of women are going missing from Nebraska Avenue. Mm-hmm. That seems sus.
Yeah. Do you think maybe we should have a stakeout on Nebraska Avenue? That might be something we could do. Oh, are you going to hit the horn? I knew it! I only said that because I knew we were wrapping up this episode.
Okay, so, but everybody, we're going to go make some udon.
Yep.
You get to finish this episode. Go to Buzzed and Baffled because the stuff I put up is very detailed and I need you to look at it because I put a lot of work into it.
This is high-level graphic design here. I'm very impressed.
I'm really upping my game as our, IT and technology
media
and social media manager.
Advertising and all I do is write stories and...
I'm really, as I think about it, I'm really the heavy lifter of this team.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
I hope everyone enjoyed this. Stay tuned. Next week, you will get to see or hear the second part of what happens with Bobby Joe Long.
Bobby Joe Long, you're not awesome.
We don't love you.